Solving polynomial equations. For example, 2x cubed minus 5x squared equals 3x. When solving equations like this, first we'll get everything on one side and 0 on the other. I'm going to move everything to the left-hand side since that's where my highest degree term is. So I will subtract 3x from both sides, and I'll get 2x cubed minus 5x squared minus 3x equals 0. Next, we'll factor the left-hand side. And remember, always start by trying to factor out a GCF, a greatest common factor, if possible. So here we do have a GCF, and it's x. When I factor x out of every term, I'm left with 2x squared minus 5x minus 3 equals 0. Okay, we're still factoring the left-hand side. And 2x squared minus 5x minus 3 does factor. We'll use the box method. So remember, 2x squared goes in the top left box, negative 3 in the bottom right. If I multiply them, I get negative 6x squared. I need to find two factors that multiply to negative 6x squared but add up to negative 5x. They will be negative 6x and positive 1x. I can fill them into either box. And then first row, what's my GCF? X. Second row, negative 3. And then x times what is 2x squared? 2x. X times what is positive 1x? Plus 1. So this factor 2, I still have my x that was out front, and then my x minus 3, and 2x plus 1, that equaled 0. Okay, next, set each factor equal to 0, then solve for x. I have three factors, so x equals 0, or x minus 3 equals 0, or 2x plus 1 equals 0. X equals 0 is already solved. Add 3 to the middle one, I get x equals 3. Subtract 1, divide by 2, and my final solution is x equals negative 1/2. So I have three solutions: x equals 0, x equals 3, x equals negative 1/2. Let's look at a second example. 7x to the 4th equals 7x. Okay, let's move everything to one side. So I'll subtract 7x from both sides. 7x to the 4th minus 7x equals 0. Factor the left-hand side. I can factor a 7x out. When I do that, I'm left with x cubed minus 1. Okay, now I can continue factoring my left-hand side using the difference of cubes formula. So first term is x to the 3rd power, second term is 1 to the 3rd power. So a is x, b is 1. The difference of cubes formula is a minus b times a squared plus ab plus b squared. Substituting in my a and b, I get x minus 1 times x squared plus 1x plus 1 squared, or 1. I still have my 7x out front, and that equals 0. Now I need to set all three factors again equal to 0. 7x equals 0, x minus 1 equals 0, x squared plus 1x plus 1 equals 0. Divide by 7, I get x equals 0. Add 1, I get x equals 1. Now this third factor doesn't factor further, and I can't solve it for x other than I can use the quadratic formula, or I could use completing the square. We'll use the quadratic formula. And for the quadratic formula, I need to know my a, b, and c. A is 1, b is 1, and c is 1. And then x is equal to the opposite of b, so negative 1, plus or minus the square root of b squared, 1 squared, minus 4 times ac, or 4 times 1 times 1, and that is all over 2a, or 2 times 1. Simplifying, I get negative 1 plus or minus the square root of negative 3 over 2. Okay, I'm going to simplify the square root of negative 3, and that is I radical 3. So now I have that x is equal to negative 1 plus or minus I radical 3 over 2. And I have 4 solutions. I have x equals 0, x equals 1, and negative 1 plus or minus I radical 3 over 2. I have 2 real solutions and 2 complex solutions.